What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 5 team builder for Red, or the Regional Elite Draft League. This week we are taking on Showan and his Heracross Almelo? Alemlo? Oh my god, dude. I'm so sorry, Showan. I said this at the end of the last video too, but I just actually cannot pronounce this, and I have no idea what it is. I know that he's Dutch, and so there's probably something going on with Dutch. I'm really sorry again. I have no idea how to pronounce uh, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a city or something. Maybe I'll actually just look it up right now while I'm doing this. Alemlo Holsteins. So this is maybe based off of a soccer team. Or a football team, sorry. Oh, it's a city in the eastern Netherlands. How do you pronounce it, though? Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Oh my god, no, not how to pronounce Lamelo. Okay, I don't even know. Who knows? He does, but I'm not going to ask him. That's about it. This is starting off very poorly. His team consists of Clefable, Latios, which is a Z-user, Mega Gyarados, Roserade, Swellow, Steelix, Electabuzz, Darmanitan, Trevenant, which is his other Z-user, Hitmonchan, and Minior. He has priority in Swellow with Quick Attack and Hitmonchan with Mach Punch. Hazard setting in Clefable with Stealth Rock, Roserade with Spikes and Toxic Spikes, Steelix with Stealth Rock, and Minior with Stealth Rock. Removal options in Latios with Defog, Swellow with Defog, and Hitmonchan with Rapid Spin. And no 4x weaknesses, which is actually quite shitty for us, if I can swear a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to say this right now. This is a very difficult matchup for our team. I didn't draft fantastically in this league. Like, I got sniped on Latios, which would have done a lot. It would have helped a lot, specifically in this matchup as well. But getting sniped on Latios really sucked overall for my team, and I think it really just like tore my team down a peg because I was so confident going 3-1 into this week, and this is looking really poor. So, luckily we only have to play Showan once in the regular season, and hopefully we don't play him again because this is ridiculous. Like, I had a very difficult time building for this, and I think a few things stand out to me. Specifically, Roserade can just spike on me and T-spike on me, and I can't do anything about it because both of my removal options are weak to Roserade. So I'm not bringing either, which you may be like, what the hell? Why aren't you bringing removal when he's going to spike stack you and T-spike stack you? Well, I have one solution to T-spikes, and I have no solutions to spike stack. So that's just what we're going to go with. I lose the spike stack, and I can't do much about it. So honestly, my goal in this game, my goal is always to win, but I would be happy if I pulled 2 kills out of this. I would be content with that. Losing as low as possible is essentially the goal for this week, because I don't think that I have a good shot of winning. So I'm just going to try and take out as many mons as I can, and I'm hoping that I can build around that. I'm really not sure if I'll be able to pull it off. Another downside of me not bringing Defog is that he could bring Screen Electabuzz and set up Gyarados and win the game. And that would really suck, because if he does that strat, then Gyarados 6-0s me. Especially if he's sub-DD Gyarados with dual stab, then he absolutely obliterates my team. And yeah, not much I can do about it. Oh, excuse me. Always in the team builders, always yawn in the team builders. I'm not expecting Hitmonchan, I'm not expecting Minior. Those are the only things I'm not really expecting. Hitmonchan gets absolutely bodied by Mega Alakazam. And honestly, the rest of my team, Vikavolt just switches in on it for free every single time. Salazzle switches in on it for free. Comfy just like sets up Calm Minds on it. So the only possible reason he would ever bring Hitmonchan is to Mach Punch my Bisharp. I don't think that he would bring it for Miltank either. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to me that he would bring it just for Miltank and Bisharp. Excuse me. When the rest of my team absolutely destroys it. So I do have I'm bringing 3 Fighting Resist actually to cover for the Bisharp and the Miltank this week in case he brings the Hitmonchan. But again, I don't think he's going to bring it. Minior is a big maybe, but again, I really don't see Minior having a great impact on this match. I'm not really sure what he would want to set up on with the Minior, because if he sets up on a Alomomola, then I could burn him with Scald. He can't set up on Donphan because of Heavy Slam or Rock Slide. He can't set up on Comfy because I always have priority on him. He can't set up on Vikavolt because I just Thunderbolt him to death. He can't necessarily set up on Salazzle, but he could potentially set up on Salazzle. That's getting into dangerous territories there, because if I'm Scarf, then I get a big hit off before I die. Miltank, he can't really set up on because I can T-Wave it and all that good jazz. I don't think that I'll be able to get a T-Wave off on it necessarily because keep in mind in Shield's down form he can't be statused, so that would be disappointing there. He can't really set up on Dragalge, but he might try, and I've got coverage for it, as we'll see when we get to Dragalge. Excuse me. He can't set up on Buzzwole because Buzzwole absolutely murders it. Despite it being a neutral hit, Drain Punch absolutely destroys it. And he can't set up on Mega Alakazam, obviously, because Mega Alakazam outspeeds it. So, yeah, Minior I don't really see coming. I definitely see Clefable, Latios, Mega Gyarados, Roserade, and Darmanitan all coming. I think those 5 are guarantees, and then he would bring one of Swellow, Steelix, Electabuzz, Trevenant. Leaning towards Steelix or Electabuzz in that sort of area, although I don't have a great Swallow answer either. So let's get into our team then, now that we've talked about how poor the matchup is and what I think he's going to bring. And I've started up the season this way, or I wanted to start up the season this way, but I'm going to talk about why I'm not bringing stuff at the end. I think if I can maybe stick to my guns, I don't know. We're bringing Thick Fat, Miltank, Thick Fat, Physically Defensive Miltank. This is 100% check to Darmanitan. Darmanitan can't touch this one bit. Ice Fang from the Gyarados will not be doing anything either. Oh, excuse me. And this is kind of our way to break a Gyarados sub, essentially, with S-Toss. Seismic Toss is always going to break his sub because he can't hit 400 HP, which means I'm always going to do more than 25% to him. So S-Toss is always going to break the Gyarados sub. It'll break a Latios sub if he wants to bring sub on Latios as well. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of dangerous, right? Because I can't touch the Trevenant with this because I'm running Mono Seismic Toss, but even if I was running Mono Earthquake, it wouldn't matter. Milk Drink for recovery, obviously. Thunder Wave to slow a bunch of fast threats down. That'd be really clutch. He does have 2 Aromatherapy users in the Clefable and the Roserade. Not necessarily sure if he would run Aromatherapy against me. I haven't been necessarily known to run a ton of status in this league. I mean, in general, I'm a huge fan of Paralysis, but not in this league necessarily. So yeah, physically defensive, and I'm running a little bit of speed just in case he wants to speed creep Miltank a little bit with something else. He doesn't have a base 100 mon. Oh, excuse me. He doesn't have a base 100 mon anyways, but I'm gonna naturally outspeed so much of his team. I actually do naturally outspeed max speed Trevenant with this much speed investment, and with no speed investment, I still outsped max speed Trevenant naturally. That's pretty much it for Miltank. I can run Bold because it doesn't really matter with Seismic Toss what nature I run as long as it's plus defense. Next up is Tangela. Tangela is making its season debut, I think. And I'm pretty sure I'm not in the red section, am I? I am, okay. So we can find out, actually. Week 1, again, no, sorry, week 1, we didn't bring Tangela. Week 2, we didn't bring Tangela. Week 3, we didn't bring Tangela. And week 4, we didn't bring Tangela. So yeah, this is Tangela's season debut. Tangela is pretty cool. I like Tangela a lot. I used it in LET Season 1 to a lot of success as a physically defensive pivot. And its special attack is actually quite deceiving. So it's got that going for it, too. We're bringing a physically defensive Tangela with a Violite and Regenerator, with Giga Drain, Leech Seed, Stun Spore, and Sludge Bomb. Again, more paralysis to slow down his fast stuff. Get some Para Hacks. Excuse me. Sludge Bomb is there for the Clefable. Excuse me. It's also going to hit the Latios for neutral damage once I Sun Spore it, if I land the Sun Spore. Again, physically defensive. I'm running 1 point in speed. 4 EVs, 1 point in speed, to outrun min speed Clefable. If I'm in on it, then we're a speed tie, but I'm running a little bit of speed just to make sure that I actually get that, get the outspeed and get the sludge bombs off before he can heal, that kind of thing. If he brings a Calm Mind set, then I'm pretty much screwed, but I do have one answer to that, so we'll see what happens. Next up, I'm Kelping Dragalge. I'll bring in a Assault Vest set just because I'm running 4 attacks. I didn't really think anything else was maybe better. Potentially like an Expert Belt or something like that, but I like the bulk that Assault Vest gives us on the special side. Obviously, I mean, honestly, if I'm him, I'm bringing Psyshock on the Latios, despite the fact that Buzzwole takes it better. I think Psyshock is more worth it just because he's going to be able to hit Dragalge better than Psychic. So if he brings Psyshock, then I'm screwed. I don't know what's even happening today right now. I'm not even that tired. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. But we're running Dragon Pulse, Sludge Wave, Surf, and Focus Blast. So Dragon Pulse is really just good Dragon Stab, and it's mainly only there for the Latios. And I actually think that's the only thing that is hitting better on his entire team. I might be wrong. Nope. I'm right? It might be hitting the Minior better. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm going to have to double check in a calc. Sludge Wave just hits so much hard. So much really hard. It hits the Clefable ridiculously hard too. It's going to Oko things like Roserade if they're not running a lot of bulk. Things like Swallow, I believe, also drop to it. Potentially Darmanitan. Darmanitan really doesn't have the defenses to back up its 105 HP. Electabuzz probably tanks it, especially if he's a Violite, to be honest, though. Surf is there for the Steelix. That's like the only reason that I have Surf. Although Surf can hit the Minior, I'm not sure, again, if Surf or Dragon Pulse hit that better. And I've got Focus Blast on there to hit the Mega Gyarados a little bit harder. I think it hits the Mega Gyarados a little bit harder. Again, that's the only reason I have Focus Blast on there. Basically clicking Sludge Wave the majority of the match, except against the Steelix. So, there you go. We're running quite a bit of speed investment on here. 132 speed investment lets us outrun no speed Clefable. So I will always be able to outspeed the Clefable if he's not running any speed. Same with the Tangela there. I'd like to be able to get hits off on the Clefable before he can do stuff. Max Special Attack Modest is ridiculous, especially with adaptability. And then we've got the rest piled into HP. In fact, I should take some points off of HP. 1 point off of HP, and we'll pop it into Spidaf. Just because I like the odd values. Pokemon rounds down, so the odd values are normally pretty helpful. Next up is another Assault Vest user. I'm running 2 AV users this week, just because I needed a check to Latios, which I realized I didn't have right at the end of my prep. I actually had nothing for Latios, so this is my only thing for Latios. And in general, my team really sucks against Latios, so this will have to do. Honestly, this will have to do. Running fully Spadef Bisharp, which is not something I think I've ever seen before. So I think it's a decent bring this week, just because it's like okay prep against his team. So despite the fact that I'm not super confident in my matchup, I think I'm bringing some stuff that's kind of neat and nifty, and hopefully can get the job done. Iron Head, Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Low Kick, just really good coverage. I was actually debating between Low Kick and Low Sweep, just because I wanted to outspeed things like Mega Gyarados, but I don't necessarily think I live a Mega Gyarados hit if I'm in on it. So Low Sweep isn't necessarily worth it, and I'm pretty sure Mega Gyarados is really heavy, so Low Kick is probably doing more damage. Low Kick is mainly there for the Steelix, which I can't hit with this coverage. Sucker Punch is going to be able to hit things like the Swallow and the Darmanitan really well. I have a Darmanitan set that I love using just because it beats teams, and it's Sub-Salac, Fire Punch, Earthquake. And Earthquake basically hits whatever Fire Punch can't kill. And so I'm not sure, sorry, Sub-Select, Belly Drum, Fire Punch, Earthquake. And so if he brings that set against me, then I'm probably screwed, because he could just sub or Belly Drum on my Sucker Punches. And then if he's subbed on my Sucker Punch, then, or if he Belly Drums on the first one, subs on the second one, then I'm screwed, because then I break the sub, but then I die. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily think he would bring that set against my team, though. I actually brought it against an Alomomola team the other day, and I lost because I couldn't kill the Alomomola. That's totally off topic, and we don't need to talk about that. But yeah, Low Kick's there for the Steelix. That's the only reason for it. Knockoff hits the Latios really hard. Sucker Punch, again, it just does a lot of damage. Knockoff is able to Oko Trevenant if he's not Z-move as well. It might even if he's Z-move. Iron Head is there for the Minior and the Clefable, and obviously anything else. Low Kick there for the Mega Gyarados because I don't have a better way to hit it. Iron Head and Knockoff for the Roserade. Probably Knockoff on the Electabuzz. Sucker Punch / Knockoff on the Darmanitan? Question mark. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Again, fully Spadef with a little bit of attack investment. Running fully Spadef with AV. I'm going to be able to eat the Latios' hits alright. Especially the Psychic ones, which I think he would bring against the Trugalgi and the Buzzwole. Next up is Mega Alakazam. We're bringing a nifty Mega Alakazam with more paralysis. So I have 3 things with paralysis on it to slow his team down a little bit for me to catch up. And hopefully get some Parahacks. I don't know. We'll see. Shadow Ball, Psyshock, Energy Ball, T-Wave. Shadow Ball is there for the Latios. That's the only reason I have Shadow Ball. And the Trevenant, my bad. Psyshock just hits everything else, except the Megara, I think, and the Celix. Yep. And I wanted Psyshock in case he's Calm Mind Clef. If he's Cosmic Power Clef, then obviously it doesn't matter, and Psychic would have been slightly better because of the higher base power. But if he's Calm Mind Clef, if he's Calm Mind Latios, then I can maybe get a big Psyshock off on both of those. That's kind of the point of the Psyshock over Psychic this week. And Hitmonchan has naturally higher SPDF than defense, I think, as well. So Psyshock's going to hit that tiny bit better, I hope. Energy Ball is there for the Gyarados, and it's going to hit the Celix neutrally, which is what I want, honestly. It's a little bit higher base power than the Shadow Ball. I'm sorry, I was going to take a drink. I feel like that's why I yawn so much, is because I don't drink enough water in the middle of these. Thunder Wave, again, slow things down. I'm running enough speed on here to outrun something. Swellow, that's what it is. We're outrunning the Swellow with the speed investment. So, once again, a week where Mega Alakazam can run Modest, which is nice. Obviously, it's a Swellow, so it can quick attack me. And, you know, he could be Scarf on... Well, he's probably going to be Scarf Darmanitan, because that's, like, the only set that Darmanitan really runs, unless you're me, and I get really creative with it. But I've never seen anyone else really run anything besides Scarf. Maybe a Life Orb set every once in a while. But Life Orb really sucks because you can't U-turn with Life Orb or Earthquake, so that's why I don't like Life Orb Darmanitan. Max Special Attack, a little bit of HP, very standard Mega Alakazam spread, honestly. We've brought Mega Alakazam every single week, I want to say. Is there a week where I didn't bring Mega Alakazam? No, I brought Mega Alakazam every single week. So, I mean, it was our first overall pick. May as well bring it every week, right? Last but not least is Buzzwole. We're bringing a Scarf Buzzwole this week, which is kind of cool that I get to run Scarf Buzzwole, but kind of sucks because I have to lock myself in a move, which is actually the worst part of this. Buzzwole is really good offensively against him, except it's too damn slow. So the problem with that is that I need to run Scarf to outspeed things. The good news is we can run Adamant Scarf because we can outspeed Max Speed Swellow with Adamant Scarf. The bad news is any of his Scarfers are still going to outspeed us. So, like a Scarf Latios, Scarf Darmanitan, both of them are going to outspeed us. I think we actually might eat a hit from Darmanitan just because of how bulky Buzzwole is. And don't get me wrong, Drain Punch does a number to his team. Minus the Trevenant, minus the Clefable, minus the Latios, Drain Punch bodies the other 8, to be completely honest with you. Honestly, Roserade is not really a great resist to it, so that's I don't really count that. Leech Life hits the Roserade anyways. It's going to hit the Latios. That's the main point. It's also going to hit the Trevenant for neutral damage, and then I have Iron Head for the Clefable, which is the other thing that Drain Punch is going to smack. And then if for some reason he statuses me with anything, or I get poisoned from Toxic Spikes, I've got Facade as the last move. The only other thing I would have put there is maybe Shadow Claw. I don't even know if this gets Shadow Claw, to be honest. I don't think it does. It does not. No, it does not get Shadow Claw. I don't think it can actually hit Ghost types. So the only other option I was going to go with was Ice Punch, and I decided that it was better for me to run Facade, especially if he's like... Oh, God. Now I'm going to have to check this. Alright, let's go on an adventure and check this together. Electabuzz. Yeah, it gets Static. Okay, I was definitely thinking that it got Static, but I wasn't entirely sure. So if he's Static Electabuzz and he paralyzes me, then that's just another reason for me to have Facade, because Facade is going to destroy a lot of his team afterwards, and it'll be able to hit the things like the Mega Clefable. Wow, that would really suck. I hope Mega Clefable does not exist, but it'll hit things like Clefable and Latios a little bit harder, I think. Maybe just Clefable, because Iron Head isn't stab. So that's going to be it for the team. We play Showan and Heracross. Insert Eastern Netherlands city here, because I'm really sorry again, Showan. I actually just can't pronounce it. And I'm going to butcher it in the battle video anyways, so there you go. That's going to be it for me, guys, and I will catch you guys for the match.